What is good, you guys? I hope you guys are all having a good day so far, having a good night as well, hopefully. Let's see. What's the camera situation looking like here? We looking okay? Is that a decent angle? Is the mic at a good volume? Can everybody hear me? Because I slightly messed with some stuff on my desk, and I don't know if my mic is at a decent volume or not, to be honest with you. So, what's up, Justin? What's up, everybody? Mic is solid. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. So, to start off this charting session, lesson, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to go ahead and go over the trade that we took this morning on Tesla. It's been a fantastic, absolutely amazing past month and over a month. I actually went back through and did the math. So the past 37 days, we've had one red day and 265.31% in profit in the past month. So we've been absolutely crushing it. I don't know how many people that are here are in the floor, but if you're not in the floor, we do have, or not we do have, but we will have a drawing at the end of this live stream for 5 of you guys to win a 7-day free trial for the floor. I just figured that would be a fun thing to do for everybody. I'm tired of seeing people miss out. So yeah. All right, cool. So let me move my camera real quick and we will get started. So in the trade ideas for today, we had a few things we were looking at. We were looking at Coin, Tesla, and MSTR. MSTR never ended up getting to our level, so that's a good thing we walked away when we did. Coin never got to our level either. So 2 out of the 3 setups there were not even close to getting to our entry level. So that did shorten up our watch that was already pretty short. But we did end up taking one trade today, and that was on Tesla. We were done within the first 3 minutes of the day. And what we were looking at on Tesla was really just this pre-market low. We ended up having a flat bottom here pre-market. Tried to get a push off the open. We ended up rejecting a 5-minute trend right here. And that was followed by a very aggressive sell-off into this flat bottom, the pre-market low, where we took our position at 932. We bought Tesla 240 puts right at 932 and got out of half right on this next candle as we were breaking below 246. I really just wanted to lock in some profit there and just make sure that we were going to stay safe in this position regardless. And I know a lot of you guys are like, well, some of you guys might be on the more safe end, but I know a lot of you guys are on the side of risking quite a bit. And my entire goal with signaling my trades and taking my trades in general is to be as safe as humanly possible. Like, I want to be as safe as possible whenever I've got a good setup, I've got some good follow through already. If I can lock in profit and make sure that no matter what, I'm going to be green on this trade, I'm absolutely going to do so. And that's what we did with Tesla today. As we broke below 246, we ended up selling half. I don't honestly exactly know where at on the candle, but I know shortly after on this same candle on 933, we got the 245 break, which was my final target. And we ended up taking profits on the rest of that right there for a quick 7.3% gain. Nothing crazy. And honestly, 7.3% for a Monday is not too bad. I know the last few Mondays we've been catching, 10, 12, 15% trades, but 10, 12, 15% trades on a Monday is actually really, really solid. And the reason I say that is because a trade that is 10, 15% on a Monday is like 20 to 30% on a Friday. So yeah, I mean, being able to catch those, we've had some fairly good Mondays within the past month. So this is still a solid day, just not as crazy as the rest. Was that not too overextended? So Brian, it was not overextended mainly because of the levels we were rejecting. So we had a 5-minute trend that was lining up right at 250, which you can see we tried to break out of. We ended up wicking that green to red on this candle. And this is really still just the opening range right here. We hadn't really moved anywhere else. This was trying to break out. It had a failed breakout, which in turn gives you even more selling aggressiveness. And honestly, by the time we got this move, I personally don't think it is too overextended to take this how we took it. If you were looking for a much larger target, then I might agree and say that it's overextended. But what I was looking for at the bare minimum, anything below 246, I was going to be happy with. 245 was what I would have liked to get, which we ended up getting, right? But anything below 246, I would have been happy with. So really all I was looking for was at least a 67-cent move on Tesla, which is not too hard. So maybe if you were looking for a larger target, it might have been a little overextended, but at this point, the risk to reward was there. We clearly had that selling aggressiveness, and we got to take full advantage of it there. So yeah. That's kind of the same situation as a trade we talked about the other day. I can't remember exactly what stock it was on, but it was more of what we were looking for out of the setup versus how extended we actually were, if that makes sense. Like maybe if we came up here to 250, we broke above, held above, and hung out in this area. If we sold off straight from 250 down to 246, and my target was 240, for example, I would say, yeah, there's pretty much no way we're gonna get this. So yeah, it's kind of depends on what you're looking for there, Brian. But I'm looking for pretty much a quick scalp on this for at least a 67-cent move. So not looking for too much, which does not classify this as an overextended move for me. You are absolutely welcome, Monica. All right, cool. So, yeah, now that we went over the trade, we will go ahead and get into the actual charting for the charting session. I'm going to be going through my watch list A to Z, finding what I like, what I don't like for tomorrow or possibly even the rest of the week. I do quickly want to go over the calendar though, just to double check what we've got for tomorrow. So tomorrow at 9:45, we have PMI manufacturing final. 10, we have ISM manufacturing index, construction spending, and JOLTS. So we have 9:45 news and 10 o'clock news tomorrow, which is kind of annoying. Once again, going to be one of those days where I'm looking to wrap it up as early as possible. And honestly, that kind of goes for the whole week. For those of you that are not going to be here every single morning, I'll just go ahead and go over the rest of the week with you. But Wednesday, we have 10 a.m. news. Thursday, we have 9:45 a.m. and 10 a.m. news and 10:30 news. And Friday, I cannot stress how annoying this is, and I've talked about it quite a bit so far, but Powell speaks at 11:25 on Friday, which is just the most inconvenient time possible. Powell, if you're watching this, I would love it if you could start doing your speeches pre-market. You don't have to do that, but keep it in mind. But yeah, so Friday is going to be kind of annoying. We might see nothing at all on Friday, which is kind of what I'm expecting. All right, moving on here. Apple, let's see, we got a pretty decent pop end of day, but not really anything specific that I'm liking there. Yeah, I think I'm good on Apple. I've been noticing since like Thursday last week, we've been pretty dry as far as setups go. Like we've been obviously making do with what we have, but there's not really been anything great. They've all been okay or good, but nothing great. AMD, Yeah, AMD, I'm all good. Amazon, nope. ARM, nope. Actually, I'm going to take a second look here at ARM just in case. Yeah, even when we get down to 100, there's not really anything there. So I'm all good on that. AVGO, this looks like it's setting up for upside. What does this look like on the smaller time frames? So AVGO upside might be a possibility. We did break below this 4-hour downtrend right here. I know my chart's super messy with levels right now, which I'm actually going to clean some of these off. But yeah, we did just break below a 4-hour trend on Friday, and we've been holding below. We've been trying to retest it and rejecting each time, but we might use this as a downtrend that they want to break back to the upside. So where this is lining up right now, where we would be taking AVGO would be breaking that 4-hour trend once again back to the upside, which actually could lead to a pretty solid move. You could probably see 170 pretty easily off of that. So I'll go ahead and mark AVGO just for funsies here, and we can come back and see if it looks better or worse than anything else we have. BA, we have a gap to the downside. I'm really not too big of a fan of this, but once again, I'll mark it and we can come back to it here in a bit. So that is actually down at 165, which I will, hello, there we go. Boom, 1 year gap start, and go name on the right. Lovely. And 1 year, hello, 1 year gap end. Boom, once again, right there, right there. Cool. Cool. I really want to remove like every single level from my charts. Getting quite annoying, but I don't just want to make a new drawing set because then I stack up drawing sets like I stack up levels. So probably, actually, I'm gonna remove that. Oop. That. This. And looks like the rest of those can stay. Yeah, BA will stay marked. Baidu. Baidu, I'm all good. Baidu's crazy low volume all the time, so not much to do there. Coin, I still like Coin at the same area. I'm not a fan to the upside, to be honest with you. So I'll pretty much just copy paste the same trade idea I had from today on Coin, and I'll keep rocking with that until we either A, have an upside setup, or B, until we get that level. Costco, all good. CRM, I'm all good. Crowd, a lot of these are going to be pretty quick glances. I know that might be annoying for some people just because I am speeding through it. But if there's nothing there, there's just nothing there. FedEx, if this was not FedEx, I would say this is a fairly decent setup, except FedEx is one of those that is crazy low volume all the time as well. And yeah, the only contracts that got past 1,000 volume today are 47 cents a piece on a Monday. So I think I'm all right. Let's see, Google. Wow. These are kind of just all in a bit of a messy area right now, which unfortunately means you're usually left looking at pre-market levels by the time you're actually looking for a setup to trade at open. See, Google right there doesn't even look that good. It just, yeah, I think I'll leave Google unmarked as well. IBM, if we get up to 254.63, I like that to the upside. I haven't traded this in a very, very, very long time. So honestly, I would need to get a really good read of the contracts before I would actually take a trade on this. And this is very clearly a low volume grinding type of stock. So I would really need to see the type of price action we have at that point in time. But the setup itself doesn't look bad. The contracts have all right volume. So it could be something we could look at there. Meta broke below that support and it's trying to reject, but we also have a little setup here to the upside, which we could look to take through the 580 break. So I'm cool with that. I like that. I'm probably going to go ahead and change that so I know that we've already broken to the downside. Yeah, Meta looks good. Marvel. Yeah, I'm going to pass on Marvel. Microsoft, I am going to pass as well. Where's this thing even at? So up until we get down to 362.90, I'm going to be passing on Microsoft. So we've got like, from the low, we've got like $5 to go. But until then, I'm all good. MSTR, I still like the same level to the downside that I was looking at today. Not this 270.250, but this 270, 270.67 level I like to the downside. Once again, just not a huge fan to the upside right now, and maybe that'll change before market opens tomorrow, but just a lot of these I'm not a big fan of to the upside. MU, see, that is not what I wanted. Uh, 83.54. Let's see what that's looking like. So I wouldn't mind taking MU at today's low, except I would need to see some very, very clear weakness there, given the fact that today's low is a pretty big level on the 4-hour. The reason I have all these levels marked, even though we have broken them, is on the 4-hour, we have not got a close below any of these levels that I have basically stacked right on top of each other right here. We've yet to get a close below. So I'm still counting these levels as valid. And the reason for that is just because they're still getting respected. So what I would need to see from MU is some extreme clear weakness leading into that level for me to feel comfortable taking it. And if we don't have that, then I'm most likely going to skip. NVIDIA, we could probably come back to. I want to get to the end of my watch list first before I make any decisions on that. Oracle, as much as I like the level, the volume on the contracts is just not there. PLTR. Once again, all these setups that look like they could be upside setups have just not developed enough yet. So all these upside setups are gonna take probably until pre-market for me to actually be able to assess them and see if I really like that, and if it's really worth writing down in a plan and actually executing. Job. I'm sorry if you guys hear like obnoxious banging in the background. My dog is absolutely going to town on one of his toys right now. SMCI. Any thoughts on CRWV? I will check that out at the end of the watch list, Monica. No, we ended up breaking to the downside, but once again, not really any volume on these. We have volume on the 140 puts. See, actually. Yeah, really, I mean, there's just not much there. Now, could this and should this have more room? Absolutely. But I'm not really trying to be on the mess around and find out side of the trade, to be honest with you. So T-Mobile, I am uninterested until we get up to the highs, and Tesla is probably going to be our last one here that we might have anything on. My Tesla chart's getting pretty nasty again here. So Tesla upside, I don't dislike as much as the others, just because we have gotten a bigger pullback for now. So yeah, I think I am going to go ahead and run with what we've got right now, which it looks like we've got AMD is supposed to be unmarked. I don't know why I left that. So AVGO, BA I can probably unmark. I wish I could color code these just in the watch list. So AVGO upside, coin downside. EDOG needs to be unmarked. Okay. AVGO upside, coin downside, IBM upside, but it's far. Meta upside, MSTR downside, MU downside, possibly NVIDIA upside, and Tesla upside. So we've got a healthy mixture of upside and downside plays here, and we also have a healthy mixture of plays that are kind of far away and plays that are pretty much gonna be right there. So that's sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and start making the watch list now, and we will just go from top to bottom on the watch list once again. So sorry if you guys can't really see the typing on this. I'm not sure exactly how it looks on YouTube, but yeah. All right, AVGO, I'm looking at 167.94. Then, all right, what do we have here? So 167.94. Next thing is 169.54 and the 170 break, which would be pretty much all I'm targeting. So AVGO, looking at the, of course it disappeared, 167.94. Looking at the 167.94 resistance from today, we will be breaking a 4-hour downtrend with enough momentum. I will be targeting a move to the 169 break, 169.54 resistance, then the 170 break for my final target. Perfect. All right, AVGO's there. Coin is probably going to go on the side watch, but we'll go ahead and just throw it in there right now because that is a quick and easy copy paste. Uh, 167.87. Right, coin is done. IBM we'll go ahead and type out as well. So IBM, since it's not one that I trade often, I'm going to keep a fairly conservative target on this. Looking at the 254.63 flat top, targeting here for my entry, targeting a move into the 255 break. After that, I will be targeting momentum above 255. Fairly simple, and once it gets closer, we'll be able to see if they have any trends or any of that jazz. Meta is pretty simple here as well. Meta looking at 578.70 high of day, targeting a move through the 580 break. After this, we have room to rally. I'm gonna rewrite this just so you guys know I'm not really looking to hold after the 580 break. Overall. There we go. MSTR, once again, gonna go ahead and just copy paste it right here because why not? We've already got it. And that still applies right now, so that's cool. Once again, just for reference, for all you guys that are relatively new here, I typically do not throw 20 trade ideas up in the morning, right? What I'll do is the night before, I'll usually look at the market, I'll see kind of what's going on, but I really don't write out a full watch list the night before unless I'm doing the live charting session like I am here, just because of the fact that we're going to get to the morning. I'm going to see some of these things are not even remotely close to where they need to be anymore. And some of these things are already going to be broken, right? So what I'll usually do is in the morning, if I'm doing this, what I do is check all these things, narrow down which ones are closest and which ones I like best. And then that's what I actually look at for the day. So don't think I'm just spamming trade ideas here for no reason. There's a method to the madness. Looking at the 84.10 low for entry, targeting a move to the 180 day low at 83.54. Final target would be momentum below the 83.50 break. There's that. Okay, hold on. I need to go back and color code these before I forget which direction we're looking at. Meta is upside. MSTR is downside. MU is downside. Then we have Tesla. So Tesla, once again, is a pretty simple one to be looking at here. And the only unfortunate thing about Tesla is there's not really any fantastic levels to target. So I'm probably just going to be targeting a regular, realistic move for Tesla, which could be right around 262. So looking at the 260, 56 high a day for entry, targeting a move to 262. And there we go. And then let me just double check NVIDIA again to see if it's even worth putting in. So with these candles, I'm not a huge fan of using these candles as like super solid reference, but yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So NVIDIA I'll throw in here as well, just because NVIDIA looking at the 108.96 resistance. Oh, wait, I guess targeting a move to the pre-market high at 109.40, 109.67, then 110 break for my final target. Boom. Boom, boom. And then we can arrange these right here. Side watch, and we will throw all the ones that are far away in the side watch. And 35 minutes in, we are pretty much done with the watch list here. I know there's a couple stocks that I need to look at from you guys right here. And also, since you guys are all in here, anybody that's not in the floor, go to my Threads account at Keith Trades, like and comment on the post. I'll get you put in the drawing to win a 7-day free trial for the floor. And we're going to do that after I wrap everything up here. So while you guys are in here, since you're waiting around, you might as well do that. Free moolah is exactly what that is. IBM is far, so that one's going to go down here. Meta is close. MSTR is relatively close. What else is far away? Coin's kind of far. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Here we go. So that is a little bit better arrangement there of the watch list. For any of you guys that are not in the floor, make sure you screenshot this while it's up here on the screen. And for those of you that are in the floor, I'm going to send it in the chat right after we're done. But yeah, there is the watch list. I'll leave it up here for a second while I read the comments real quick. Look at Newsmax, Max the ticker. Okay. Inmax and CRWV. All right. Inmax. Oh my lord. What do you want me to look at on this, Levon? There's 12 hours of data on this stock. And they have no options. There's not much for me to do there. And CRWV. Oh boy. CRWV has no options either. And yeah, there's really nothing for me to do with this. So, I mean, I guess, Levon, if you have a specific level you want me to look at there, then that's Oh, it's the same. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm good on those, but I appreciate you guys throwing them out there. If anybody has anything that they want me to check out while I'm at it, let me know. If you could let me know the stock and the general area you want me to look at, then that would be fantastic. Just wanted to know if you knew something or read something about it. Thank you. Oh, no, I have not looked at that at all, if I'm being completely honest with you. I really don't pay too much attention to IPOs, just because they don't have options, so there's not really any point. So, yeah. Wow. All right, so it's looking like we don't even need to do a drawing for the free trial giveaway, unless there's more of you in here that just haven't commented yet. Figured there was gonna be a bit more than that. But everybody that did comment, everybody that did comment is a winner. All right, sweet, cool. Sounds good then. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I've got for you charting wise. I don't know. We've got some time left. We've got 20 minutes left. So yeah, if you guys want to have a Q&A, I'm more than happy to sit here and answer your questions. Comment on what? Brian, I made a Threads post that basically said if you just like and comment on the post, you'll get thrown in a drawing to win a free 7-day trial for the floor. Apple 225 has rejected 3 times now. Does that make the level more attractive? No, because we've broken 225 volts. Seth, if you're in the live, the free trial Thursday is turned to a waitlist right now because we are holding off on the free trial Thursdays for now. For the time being, I made a couple announcements about it. That's why we have a free trial, like an actual free trial where you can just sign up and be in there for free when you want to be instead of just on Thursday, because the free trial Thursday, we're noticing a lot of people are not actually putting it to use, which is just unfortunate for them, to be honest, but we're seeing what you guys like better. So that's why there's a wait list on there. We didn't want to completely delist it or make it like invisible on WAP, but everybody that's on the wait list for the free trial Thursday is going to remain on the wait list for the free trial Thursday until we resume it. So if you want a free trial of the Discord, you're gonna have to sign up for the actual free trial, or just shoot me a DM and I will send you the link for the free trial as well. You know how much, or wait, how do you know how much room we have? I've asked this before, but still trying to get it. So Jack, it's a combination of looking at different support and resistance levels that are past your original entry level, also looking at other trends that are lining up, and also really just knowing how the stocks move at certain setups. So like Tesla, I know a pretty average, pretty easy move for Tesla to get is anywhere between $1 to $1.50 on pretty much any setup, right? And just taking that into account for the majority of these stocks, I've watched these same stocks over the course of years. So I know roughly how much room we have, even if we don't have any other levels for me to base a target off of. And that's something that is going to come with screen time and just getting more experience in general. But yeah, that would be how I know how much room we have. And you know, sometimes we blow way past what I'm expecting, and sometimes we don't quite get to what I'm expecting. So if you don't have an exact level or a trend that you can use for a target, the best thing you can do is basically infer on the setup that we have, how much does this stock usually move, right? And if you start learning that stock by stock, then your life's going to be even easier there. All right, I'm gonna imagine that you guys all have this screenshotted by now if you need to, so I'm gonna go ahead and move back here in the middle. Boom. But yeah, if anybody has any other questions or anything that they would like me to go over while we're still on here, I'm more than happy to. Let's see. All right, so comment wise, Ryan, Jess, let's start. Yeah. So there's 4 of you right now. There's one more person in here that wants a free trial. Make sure you drop that comment. Also, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I don't feel like a real YouTuber unless I ask for a like and subscribe. And we need to get the streams a little more popping here. I feel like, do I need to invite like Kevin Hart over and jump around and do like light stuff on fire in the back of my room? Is that what I need to do? Already a lifetime subscriber. There you go. That's what I like to hear. Already a lifetime subscriber. Baba to the upside at 132.87. Let's see. 132.87. Is that just today's high? If it's today's high and that's all you're looking at there, I would personally pass on that, and I would pass on Baba 90% of the time anyways, just because it is a low volume stock. Like, I've removed it from my watch list because I never traded it, even when it was on my watch list, just because it's pretty low volume. It can have volume occasionally, but the setups come like every once in a blue moon. It's not like they're there every day like Tesla is. But yeah, personally, I would pass on that. Bring guest on every time you do charting session. All right, we'll do Nathan. Gonna have to find a guest that's gonna want to sit here and listen to me talk about charts for an hour. That's funny. Yeah, not on here. Not on here. All right, well, if we don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up, call it a night. All of you that commented on that post, let me just double check and make sure that there is not any more. But all of you that commented on that post, I am going to DM you right after this with a code to use for your free trial. So cool. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you sticking around, hanging out. For those of you that aren't in the floor, once again, I'll give you another opportunity to take a screenshot of this watch list and make sure you use this to your advantage. Take this watch list, take these levels, plot them on your charts, do all that good stuff. And for those of you that are in the floor, I'm going to send a screenshot of this in just a minute. And I will talk to you guys all first thing in the morning for pre-market review. I hope you all have a great rest of your night, and I will see you all then.